actually the little bit. See how mine is, yeah? It's like actually the edges are turning up, and also I've got a tiny little bump in the middle. But that's a much better motion already.
We said Wendy and I first attempted this 20 years ago.
Sorry, we lost you for a minute.
Thank you to our sponsors, Nestle and we are back with our friends across the Atlantic.
Danone. Nestle is my competitor.
Danone.
Actually, when I lived in Shanghai, I looked like a dumpling.
I think we both did. Have you used your brother's recipe before to make
yes, I have. I cooked with him, and the reason I chose to use his recipe is this soup is a very clean soup, so that's why I use this one. And what I like about this dough is it's very malleable.
Oh,
it's super soft.
Really nice.
It rolls very easily. Lucy's going to become a professional dumpling roller by the time she gets out here.
That looks quite firm, actually.
Yeah.
mine?
Oh, about the positioning.
Of the hand.
Oh, the palm. Use your palm.
This is my own. I use the stock recipe, but I use my own ratios for the jelly.
How's it going, Ed? Is it better?
Better.
It looks better.
It's not curly.
Oh, well done.
Okay, don't make them too big. It looks quite big. Is it big? Mine are 8 millimeters.
8 millimeters.
8 centimeters. Sorry, 8 centimeters. Sorry.
That's the size of my hand.
The size of your hand. Right.
Your hand. Look at your hand.
The size of my hand, but I have much smaller hands than you.
Yeah, it's about the same size.
What? The same size as my hand? I doubt it.
No, my hand.
I'm like 5 foot.
The size of my hand and bigger than your hand, so it must be that same.
Okay, then.
So I'm gonna.
Wendy, I don't know how we feel about this metric thing. No one seems to know what it means.
Well, what kind of
hand.
measurements do you want me to do?
One that would be universally understood. Okay, my dough has rested. I'm going to break it out and start rolling skins with you folks.
Great. So I'm going to cut them this size. Sorry, just to remind on the size is about this size. Yeah. Okay. Jeremy Pang is joining us.
Yeah.
Hey!
He's
Jeremy Pang.
He's outside.
He's outside. What a rebel.
Hello.
No, he's gone.
How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Mr.
Hi.
Pang.
Bessie? Yeah, much better. Much better.
We're
Yeah, we're going to do story time tomorrow morning. That'll be really nice. What time? It's going to be at 10:30 your time tomorrow.
What's that in metric, Aunt Wendy? Well, you can't tell the scope of or the scale of me in this camera.
Give me a
so
second.
That's true. We can't tell the scale of you.
I could be quite small.
You could be, but
No, Ed doesn't know.
that's true. I've got too many
Look as
pastries
tall as the
now. I'm
fridge
actually
next to
start
you.
filling soon.
Well, that's only, yeah, that's okay. Are we all back, or are we still frozen? I've snapped all of my doughs into little
well done.
nuggets.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. And now we're going to dust these and get rolling, yeah?
Yeah, by the way, Ed, I mean, Will is a professional chef, so no freaking out.
Yeah, well, I was wondering why his house looks like a work.
He's not in his house. I think he's in a kitchen.
What?
Oh, Mr. and Ms. Peng, since you're both here, this morning as I was rummaging through my drawers, I found my 3 pins.
Oh, wow.
Do we know why? They must be for different uses. Do we have a preference, or can you
No,
see?
they're not different uses, actually. They're just the same thing, just made by different people.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They feel, I've never used them side by side, so I decided to bring them all today, but.
No, the one with the concave.
The one that doesn't.
The one with the curve. The one with the curve on my right.
Yeah.
As that one's more like a chapati roller. So for example, if you wanted to roll a large circular disc, using just one pastry and one roller, that's the one.
Oh, so that would be better for the
Interesting.
The other ones, so the more curves on the outside, the easier to roll one big round disc, like a.
A big thing.
So, for example,
See? So they're not the same.
but you can do the same with all of them.
Yeah. I mean, you can use a wine bottle. Wendy, show them how to do it with a wine bottle.
Oh, with a wine bottle.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and Ed's got a very good tool.
I still don't understand. It's a cabinet pull?
Yeah, so in like where I keep the plates, these kind of dividers.
Oh.
Put 'em in.
What is 8 centimeters?
8 centimeters. Oh,
3.5
like
inches.
the size of my palm, but you know.
3.5
That's not
inches.
3.5 inches.
You want it in inches? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you in inches.
No.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Like,
Yeah.
Comme
She's
ça?
measuring.
I'm measuring it. Look, 3.5 inches. So Ed, have you made these before?
I made these before. No, I made the Japanese gyoza, but we buy them
Okay.
out.
Okay.
Well, you're in for a treat because this is not
you
any
are in
way
for a
the
treat.
same.
Well, what do you
Okay.
cook in your
At
kitchen?
least at the
What
beginning.
sort of, is it a restaurant or is it?
So no, it's a meal kit service. So what we do is we come up with recipes, and then we go out and source all the ingredients, and then we put them together into these meal kits.
Cool, huh?
Oh, right.
And then they get mailed out to the customers or couriered out, and then the customers
okay.
themselves are able to cook the meals.
Like
They
frisch
follow
tea.
the
It
recipe.
is exactly like frisch tea, yeah.
It's
Oh, what's it
exactly
called
like
out there?
Like frisch tea.
Frisch tea.
that. Oh, yeah.
Fish tea.
Frisch tea. FRISHTI.
It's a service here in Paris, but they also have a pantry, so you can do your shopping online as well.
Yeah, so we just started like a digital marketplace where you can order like local Hawaiian
yeah.
made products.
Just rolling or making pastries.
Well, we can
Let's
actually
start.
start them. Let's start them
Too many.
because then we've got too many anyway. And then you can also tell us give us some tips then, because that would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're ready to wrap a little bit now because then Jeremy can give us some tips. And you can keep your pastries under the wet thing so that they.
Right.
Okay, so do you want to do
But
some explaining?
don't
or?
expect too much, Mr. Pang. Miss Pang. So I have the
Yeah.
filling in the middle, and
Yes.
then my left thumb is on the filling. I take my right index and thumb, grab a side, and then I just grab a pleat and pinch with my right index.
Yeah.
And then I'm just slightly turning the dumpling in my hand clockwise, and then grabbing a bit of the dough and just pleating around. So the thumb is keeping it staying in place.
Yeah.
And the dough is twisting into the thumb.
Yeah. I've got a bit of a wet mix going on. Not bad for a first one, I would say. Well, okay. All right. Cheating a little bit just to make it round. Right. Okay. That's my first one. Oh. First one.
Yours is much better than mine.
I've got to measure it because I've got 2 jellies here.
So when you pull it up, Wendy, if you want,
I need to pull it up.
if you want, you close it at the top. Close it at the top.
Yeah.
And then
Okay, no hole.
And then pull it up.
I'll show you, and Jeremy can explain how to do it better, maybe. Okay, so I don't know. Can you see?
I can see.
Okay, you can see. Oh no, here's good, right? Okay, right. So I'm gonna pick up. The first pleat, right? I've got the mix in the middle. It's a teaspoon, roughly. Oh yeah, okay, that's good. I've got a mix in the middle, and I make the first pleat, okay? And then I'm gonna fold it over, going beyond that pleat, and fold it over beyond that pleat, and keep going. Always beyond the last one.
Okay.
Second
one. So by the way, I'm storing half of my mix in the fridge at the moment because I don't want it to melt.
If the jelly's loose, next time you need to put a little bit more agar in. So even if the jelly is like really is really solid, when you're learning this type of dumpling, it's likely that it will melt when you go, like it's going to melt a lot more.
Yeah.
Look at Lucy's first one. This is not bad. Look.
Oh, well done.
So, Wendy.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, so can I suggest something?
Yes.
So So after you fold them like this, yeah, you've seen.
I use a much knife for mine. Yeah.
What I do is I hold it and then I kind of like plump it from the bottom up so they kind of stand up a little.
What's
Okay, you plump it from the bottom. Okay.
You know what I mean? Just like, so like instead of having like a flat little one like this, I take it and I kind of like, so it's a bit more, so they sit up.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that looks lovely.
That looks good.
Thank you, Mr. Pang. It's not my first dump.
Do you plump them on like this?
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ah,
Same thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it sits, yeah, right there.
Okay. Yeah, just to make it a bit. Yeah, I see.
When you started, do you put your thumb inside or on the outside?
My left thumb is in, and this is going
Like
into
here.
my right.
On the outside, yeah. Because,
My left hand is always inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until the end.
Yeah, it's nice.
Till the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we need.
How you guys think your hands?
Okay, Ed. Let me do one more up to the screen so you can see. Sorry, we're being rude and we're just catching up and we're not paying attention to our student.
Oh, this is a bit better. Well, since Will told me at the beginning he had no hope for our dumplings, I wanna prove that you're wrong and that we're gonna have good dumplings.
Excusez-moi, mademoiselle. I said I had no hope for my dumplings.
Yours are pro, Will.
It's because you're here today, Jeremy. You've instilled such confidence in my skills.
You're right.
What's the deal with is that better? What's the deal with the pulling up, by the way?
To kind of get this to seal it.
I gotta go, guys.
Okay, all right.
All right,
bye.
Jeremy, thank you.
Bye.
If I could do this. Sorry.
All right.
Is this good? Is this a good view?
Yeah, that's a good view.
All right. So this is my right hand. This is my left hand. Like I pleat with this one, and I'm just using these 3 fingers. And then with my left hand, where the dumpling is, I use my thumb to kind of keep the filling in. So that I'm gonna take
exactly. It's too wet.
Anywhere, like say 1 o'clock. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna grab a small pleat with my index and then pinch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then from there, I'm just slightly spinning the dumpling in my hand and grabbing a small pleat and pinching. So the only thing that's moving is the dumpling in my hand.
Right, I need some flour. Okay, put it.
I said this is probably the most social that I've been in a long time.
Okay, so how do you close it? We'll move to the camera a bit more.
What you do when you close it is when you get to the end, you are pinching the dough onto an existing pleat. So you just keep pinching it until and then you slowly extract your thumb that's kind of in the middle of it until it seals. But you're not making new pleats anymore. You're just attaching it to the pleats.
Yeah.
All right, messieurs, mesdames, thank you so much. I have to start my day.
Thank you, Will.
Of course. Oh, that's a
We'll
lovely
send pictures.
picture.
We'll send pictures of your dumplings. Bye.
Absolutely. Ciao, ciao.
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 Bye, Felicia.